Anything happen on your weekend?
Eurovision happened.
Yeah, it did.
That's nothing else that was noticeable, really. No.
Well, join us next week. Oh, there's a trailer.
Oh, yeah. No, I forgot about that.
Comedy.
Yeah, so after, was it a week of those redacted trailer 10-second?
It's a fortnight or so, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about them because there's not really much to say when they're like sort of 5 seconds.
5 seconds and redacted, and you had to play it. You had to flip the sound to listen to what was actually said in the in the little snippet of it.
I just wait for everyone else to do that. I'll be honest, I was really lazy.
That's what I did as well. But yeah, and then we finally got the actual trailer on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think the most sort of noteworthy thing about them was the titles for the episodes as well, which we'll sort of talk about because they sort of broke the trailer up into thirds, really. The first part being, obviously, we've got a few clips from the first special, which was then revealed to be the Star Beast. So I think that's basically the confirmation now that it is going to be an adaptation in some form of the comic, which is pretty cool. I quite like that. I think it's quite nice to go and look at some of the expanded media and think this would work on TV, and it does. I don't know if you've ever read it. I don't know.
I haven't done yet. It's on my list to read beforehand because I want to.
Tricky to try and get hold of them now because they're in those graphic novels which are like £70 a throw because they're out of print now. But there's a big Finnish adaptation which is pretty close to the comic for an audio adaptation of a comic. But that's a good way of listening to it. I imagine it'll be just a sort of probably one of the more straighter adaptations, because there's a lot of things like human nature has a similar thing to it, but it's not the same. It's not a straight adaptation of the book. Obviously, there's different things, and there's themes running through the books. Obviously, you don't get on TV because there's different characters. But I imagine with this, you'll just be transplanting the 14th Doctor instead of the 4th Doctor, and Donna and Rose and her family instead of Sharon and her friends, and everything like that. But I think it's quite cool. I quite like the idea of looking at the 60th and the first thing being, well, we're going to take a look and celebrate all of the expanded media stuff because really that's what's kept the show going since when it's not been on, during hiatuses and stuff. That's where people get their Doctor Who fix.
Yeah.
Makes it sound like drug addicts, but,
well, it's a healthy addiction.
Yeah, there's worse vices to have. Heroin. Exactly. That's pretty rough.
But no, it is nice to see them actually acknowledging the expanded media in the TV show. It probably makes the writers of the expanded media feel good if they're still around, which I think they are. They should be, anyways.
Well, I mean, I can't speak for every single one of them off the top of my head, but no, I think it's a nice way. It's a nice way of looking back and celebrating a different part of the show's history rather than just going, "Here's all of the Doctors."
Here's the Daleks.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm quite looking forward to as well. The fact that we're going to get like a Dalek-less anniversary.
Oh, it's going to be nice.
I've had enough of all three of the big bads, really, to be honest, for a while.
I'm excited to see the new design of the Daleks, but I'm happy to go without them for a while.
I could quite easily go without them now until like 2025.
Yeah.
Easily. The Cybermen, maybe, if they were to do something a bit more
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for the Master, we've spoken about that loads of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
it's going to be nice to see Beep the Meep and the Wrath Warriors.
Yes, yeah. So basically, the plot of the Star Beast. This is if you don't want sort of a spoiler and you want to wait, just I don't know, skip ahead.
Yeah.
Some undisclosed time.
We'll figure it out.
Put your fingers in your ears and do this. La, la, la,
yeah.
la.
Or go read it. Pause the video and go find out.
Yeah, pause the video. Go on eBay. Sell your soul.
Yes.
Wait for it to be delivered. Read it. Then come back and unpause us. Well, wait. Don't worry.
Great. Now that you're all caught up.
Imagine there's one person out there that's done that.
Oh,
and you're our favourite.
I would cry.
So it'll be Matthew. Matthew be doing
this.
But it's essentially that Beep the Meep is sort of crashed on Earth and is all cutes and everything and all cutey and like, oh, look at him, he's adorable and fluffy. And these horrible Wrath Warriors come in when that's actually sort of the other way around. And Beep the Meep's a dangerous one. The Wrath Warriors being evil. Like, oi, watch out for him.
He'll kill you.
I've just condensed like the whole story down into like,
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really a spoiler.
No, Beep the Meep is evil. He's adorable, but he's evil.
Yeah, and I think I quite like the sort of use that it looks like it's going to be a mix of CGI and practical.
Yeah.
It's almost like a sort of Grogu type puppet they've got there, where then Donna pokes it in the eye. I find that really weird. Why would you walk up to something and poke it directly in the eye? Like, not on the head, just was like, oh, your eye. I hate things in eye. Oh, shit. I hate things in eyes. See, that's the one thing that does get me with horror films, where people start like sticking things in eyes. I'm like,
no, it's not the nicest thing.
Yeah. I think there's not really much to talk about the first one because I think it's going to be a very sort of standard season
introduction type job.
It'll be a very typical sort of, not like it's a season, but you know what I mean. It'll give that sort of, it'll introduce or reintroduce people it needs to, and set up where we are with the Temple Nobles and everything like that,
and then set up for a start of the big bad.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode.
Yeah, I reckon will be some sort of hints, and then we get to the second one, which is the one I am most intrigued by.
Yeah.
Because it's the one we don't really know anything about, because the flashes that we got of that in the trailer, like Russell's gone on record before with the teasers we've had in the past, that's going, you've seen nothing from the second special yet at all, like not a single
how
frame.
He wants it as well.
And I think having those, like, he's got very, it doesn't really give anything away, because all you see is the Doctor and Donna, who we know are going to be in it anyway in some sort of sci-fi setting, and it's got that redacted filter over it, so we still can't really see what's going on.
No.
It's called Blyle Blue Yonder. We'll go with that. Wild Blue Yonder. And I said this on Twitter the other day. I think it's something to do with the TARDIS. I think it's going to be sort of like almost like a bottle episode, because they've said it's all been filmed quite a lot mostly in the studio. I reckon it's going to be a bottle episode, where the Doctor and Donna are in the TARDIS and something's going wrong with the TARDIS and it's sending them somewhere, and that's where you're going to get your fan wanky cameos in. You know, that's where we might see Susan or Matt Smith, because they're the two that everyone's convinced that are.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I can't particularly imagine Matt Smith having the time to do it, because they're shooting House of the Dragon at the minute, which is sending him all around the world. But maybe he'll have a week off somewhere where he can come and do a bit. I think that'll be the first time we see Shooty as well.
Yeah, that'll be interesting if that is the case.
I reckon it'd be almost like a flash forward type thing. You know, we're going to see Doctors of the past, but then here's the Doctor of the future as well, because we've, you know, as we talked about that initial teaser that we saw after the Power of the Doctor, that cloudy background when we see Shooty is not the real background. That's just been put in as a placeholder. And I think it would be quite interesting to take it down the route of introducing a Doctor sort of
Masters of the Edge type vibes. I think you're getting at.
Maybe even I think quite interested to see what if he just bumps into. I mean, we know we see Shooty. He looks like he's in sort of post-regenerated clothes, but that could also be a red herring. You know, what if something does what we thought was going to happen? Because we had a theory for Power of the Doctor actually, that chamber that she was in was when we're going to see all the old Doctors and stuff as she goes back down here. But what if it's something like that and it's forward and he goes to the next Doctor, which we know is going to be Shooty? You know, and he's like, what the hell's all this going on here? You know?
Yeah, he has a bit of a run on the special, and then it goes back to David Tennant, only to have him regenerate back into Shooty.
Yeah. But I don't think that'll take away from it, because we know David Tennant's only really coming back for a sort of like special appearance as the 14th Doctor.
It's very much meant to be a small little
I think
role filled.
Something along the lines of the TARDIS malfunctioning, maybe manipulated by Neil Patrick Harris as the toy maker, which I love how everybody's just taken that now. We've had no confirmation, we could all be completely wrong, but everybody who's talking about Neil Patrick Harris now is calling him the toy maker.
No, but it's,
and I think it's quite funny.
It's the Toy Emporium in the first trailer at the end of the Power of the Doctor.
That was a Christmas one, that was.
Yeah, it was just...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he might be, and you know, usually when people sort of go with this, it does turn out to be real. But I just think it'd be quite funny to look back on this in like another 12 months' time and go,
see how wrong we were,
just see how completely wrong everybody was. He's actually Pigbin Josh from like the Claws of Axis or something, and it'd just be completely like unrelated to the toy maker in every way, and have it be a massive red herring. Because people were saying in one of the teasers that where you hear the laugh, where you see Neil Patrick Harris doing some juggling, it sounds like Michael Gough is the original toy maker, which I don't know if anybody's compared that, because I certainly can't be bothered to go back and listen to every second of the Celestial Toymaker to listen out for a specific like 2-second laugh.
No.
But if someone else has, then...
But if it is the Celestial Toymaker, which it would be almost horrible to pull the rug at this point on that one, if it's not.
I don't, but this is the thing that everyone's going to... if this does happen and it's not the Toymaker... Everyone's going to be so annoyed, even though that was never the plan. If he turns out to be like the Rani or something in a male form, and everyone goes, "Well, we thought it was a Celestial Toymaker. This is rubbish."
So I was having a chat in the car with Liam on Saturday night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we're talking about specifically.
Sorry, Liam. He's not watching this.
No. So we were talking specifically about what Neil Patrick Harris's character could be. Because we both think it's going to be the Celestial Toymaker, but then there's also there is that seed of doubt that they might be giving us this lovely red herring that we're just taking and going running with. But if it's not, the only option really you could think of without introducing a new big bad is throwing the Rani in as a male.
Or you could have the meddling monk. Not that it would really work as the way he's dressed, I don't think. And if you're going to do meddling monk, I would rather have a sort of more comedic style.
Yeah,
thing.
you'd need a...
I don't know. I just think he probably is a toy maker, but I just think it's going to be really funny if he's not, so I can laugh. Because I'm going to go on record now and say I don't think he is, just so that if everyone else is wrong, I get bragging rights. And if everyone else is right, then I don't really care because I'm in a minority. But I'll be one of those small people going, aha, you were all wrong. So we're going to call him...
Bob.
I was going to think of something a bit more menacing, that's fine. But the main villain of the piece... Controversial. Not really. But I think that maybe he's got some sort of power. I reckon he's had a hand in why the Doctor's changed back into an old face.
Yeah.
There's going to be so that might be why the TARDIS has malfunctioned in the second special, because he's sort of pulling the strings from afar, and then you get into the third special, the Giggle, which is his the final special, and is probably the one that ties everything together. You'd hope so, with it being the final one.
Yeah.
And there's,
well, if not, it's a good starting point for the new series.
And this is this Giggle. What's that about? I have a theory about that as well, because I reckon that when the Doctor and Donna are in the TARDIS, that's when they're out the way, so that the villain can go in and just
go haywire and stuff.
This Giggle is obviously some sort of infection, because there's one of the things where he's inside everyone's heads and everything. He's sort of mind controlling everyone for his own nefarious purposes, and I think that'll be where we get this. Everything all comes together, and the Doctor and Donna escape whatever happened in the second special, only to find that he's basically halfway to winning, and he's got to try and stop him, and that's going to obviously lead into David regenerating into Shooty then. Yeah.
But with that, I've seen a theory online, and I hope you're wrong, but they're saying with he's in everyone's mind, that they're calling back to the Master and Mr. Saxon.
I hope not.
That's what I've seen. Yeah, we've literally just seen the last of the Master.
What we've seen of this character Neil Patrick Harris is playing, he seems to be quite sort of kooky with all the dancing and everything. And
I love it.
I can't stand that with the Master.
Yeah.
So I really hope it's just not. I want it to be someone new, or it'd be like the Monk or the Rani or whatever, or the Toy Maker. But I'm just going to go on record and say it's not a Toy Maker, just in case I'm right.
Yeah.
I will record a review of that episode. It'll just be 20 minutes of me going ha 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 and laughing in your face.
that was loud.
I'll turn that down in the edit.
All in all, I'm more excited now than I was at Christmas.
I think it's always funny as well to look at all the people that were going, well, it wasn't a full 90-second trailer. Well, of course it's not. It's still 6 months away.
Yeah.
Like, that was... It's actually, if you think about it, it's very clever. To just have those idents interrupt, because I think one of them was... I can't remember when the first one was. The second one I actually saw live, because it was started just before Have I Got News For You on a Friday, sort of 9 o'clock, when a lot of people are going to be watching telly. Then the other one then was like before the one show on a Monday or something, where you've got like another sort of group of people that are going to be watching the TV, and then you drop a trailer when like 20 million people are watching Eurovision, and it was the final thing before Eurovision started.
Yeah, it was brilliantly done.
Another trailer for something else, another trailer for something else. And we go, oh, come on, where's that? And then it goes into the trailer, and then you straight into Eurovision. Like, people are already going to be watching it, and you're going to capture a lot more of the general audience to then for them to go, oh, hang on, Doctor Who's back and David Tennant's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll watch that. What is that? Oh, Autumn. We'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah. It's very clever. Very clever marketing.
No. And the way they've done it as well, just those little snippets, it's just incredible.
Yeah. I always like those little idents. They're always exciting when you catch them live and you're like, oh, I just saw that. It's happened again. I also shout out to Catherine Tate for being absolutely hammered at Eurovision as well.
Oh my god!
Because I remember seeing everyone going, "Oh, Catherine Tate's a spokesperson. Maybe she's going to talk about Doctor." Shut up! She's obviously not. She's just a spokesperson for the UK. But my God, was she clinging onto that railing for dear life, bless her. And everyone, when she shouted out on Z, we were like, "Hey!" Because we were watching Eurovision as well. And as soon as she said that, we were like, "Oh, see what you did there." But I just think
she was clearly hammered.
She was absolutely steaming. I mean, to the point where I didn't.
Good on you, girl.
She was that drunk that we didn't notice that she was that drunk the first time, because we were that drunk watching it. It was only when I saw it the following day I was like, oh God, she's absolutely steaming. That's Eurovision, everyone. Everybody who's not in the UK and must look at Eurovision and think, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
That's what I find fascinating.
And then we got the BAFTAs as well with David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Billy Piper, and Freema Agyeman in attendance as well. Yeah, which was interesting.
Quite cool. But
You never know.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see a return of Martha during the 60th. Rose, not so much. I don't really care.
We've tied up that story arc.
But
That's done and dusted.
There's
Martha,
much more you could do with
much
Martha.
more.
She's got the potential. We've
Hey,
seen her in Torchwood. And if we're
unit
going to do,
spin-off.
that's what I'm going to say. If we get this unit spin-off,
It's perfect.
then let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's just it fits like a glove. I like Kate Stewart, but at the last couple of appearances, she's been very much a function rather than the character, and I can't really see her leading it.
It's been a
So
shame.
I think you need to ground her with someone like Martha or Gwen or anyone.
Just bring Gwen and Martha.
Gwen, Martha, and Kate leading a series could absolutely 100% work.
Yeah, I reckon it would. The writing would need to be good, and with Russell T Davies back at the helm, there's no reason not to think
give
that.
it back to Chibnall. I don't care. He did a good job with Torchwood. Just couldn't do Doctor Who.
Yeah, but we've slated, because if Chibnall comes back after we slated him and he comes out with something good, I'm just going to really hate him more for what he did to Doctor
He
Who.
comes back like he's going to walk through the door or something. Oh, hi, Chris. How's it going? Did you watch the tier list? Did you enjoy it? Bet he didn't.
I hope he didn't.
Yeah, is there anything else in the trailer? I noticed Wilf.
Yeah.
Very
showed me that.
very briefly, when you see the shot, it's just before it's around the giggles section of the trailer. When Donna looks on, you can see her sort of, she looks, and it's very clever, because I reckon the shot's probably a bit more wider. I think they're just tying it into the trailer. But you can see Donna's arms sort of like, his shoulders are quite stiff by his side, and you can just see, and I mean like it's that much, of like a top of a flat cap, like we saw in the pictures of Bernard Cribbins filming when he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So I think it's a shame we haven't seen him, but I can see why they would want to just save it for the actual thing.
Yeah, especially
It's
with
just
everything.
a mark of respect and everything, and
Yeah.
I think it'll be a much not nice. It's not gonna be nice, but it will be nice. It'll be
a lovely,
bittersweet,
it'll be a lovely send off.
because they're not gonna have like a big fanfare. It'll be like a case of, I reckon, Donna walks into her house and he's like, "Hey, all right."
Yeah.
That's my Wilf impression. Shit.
Come on, girl. Come on, old girl.
It's them aliens. I bet my pension. That's rubbish.
It's them aliens again.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else, because a lot of it is still just very fresh, because I think I've seen it that many times now, it's just all burned into like one image. And all I
Yeah.
can think about is the sort of start where we see the Doctor with Rose, Temple Noble.
I'm interested to see what they do with Rose Temple Noble. It's a brand new character. They can do a lot. You never know. She might become a companion down the line somewhere.
I would be inclined to believe that she would pop up again.
Yeah.
Maybe in a sort of like guest appearance kind of capacity. Because I know that Yasmin Finney and Ncuti Gatwa are quite close, like in real life. They're quite good mates. I'm not sure exactly what they worked on together. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm not IMDb. But I know they are. They've been photos of them at events and things, so I know they get on quite well. Not that that's a reason for them to work together on a show, but you know what I mean. But yeah, there's not much of Sylvia or Sean or Ruth Madeley's character in that. It was very much sort of Dr. Donna, Rose, Neil Patrick Harris centered.
Yeah.
And Beat the Meep. But there's some cool like shots and stuff in there. I just think it looks very. And Bristol's never looked so good.
Have a few more drinks next time you're there. It'll look better.
Well, I mean, I have. That's usually the only way I go to Bristol. I'm sorry, I don't. But I quite like Bristol actually.
It's not a bad city.
Not a bit. It's England though, so what do you expect? But yeah, I think we're in for a treat. I think we probably won't get anything more content. I can't think of anything else now big that would be warranting of dropping a trailer. Because there's no World Cup or anything. Maybe you might get something on that though. Well, no, because even
Rugby World Cup.
Is that enough to
That's
draw
in
it
the
all?
autumn, no?
Yeah, maybe.
It might be around. It might be
Maybe.
around that sort of time.
We'll watch Wales get shafted by everyone, and then we go, "Oh, there's a trailer
We'll
to make you
beat
feel better."
Portugal. It's fine.
Yeah, we said we'd beat Georgia in the year. We're going off topic again.
Yeah, we are. We're rambling.
But no, I think that we're in for a few surprises, definitely, especially that second special.
Yeah, I honestly can't wait. It's a very much a Neil Patrick Harris giggle as well. You can clearly hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're gonna get someone to come in who's be quite a camp villain, it's a good name. And he's quite a big name as well. And there's a few big names now that we're getting. Obviously, we've had the announcement of Jonathan Groff joining the cast of Series 14 as well. Who is a good actor, to be fair. I've seen him in a few things.
Honestly,
Mindhunter, he's good in.
Those period piece costumes. Yeah, we've had a new release for the photos for the.
Yeah, we've had a couple of new costumes now, haven't we? Since we've talked about Shooty last, we've had the.
I don't know what it is, but Shooty makes anything look incredible.
No, he just has. I don't know what it is. He's just got that sort of style about him that makes him just pull off any sort of outfit you throw him in. Whether it's a sort of like that 70s brown leather jacket with the multicolored shirt, or the 60s with the afro, and now this period costume. That I was quite funny to see it on Twitter, and everyone thought they were filming Bridgerton, and it was actually Doctor Who, which is quite funny because it is very Bridgerton-esque.
Yeah. It's definitely got that vibe about it.
Yeah, I just think that it's just. I mean, I'm excited for everything. The only thing that's frustrating me is the fact that it's like still half a year away.
I know.
Like, there's about roughly about as much time until the 60th now as there has been since the
5.5
trailer.
months.
Yeah.
Until the 60th. 5.5 months.
Well, it's not even that. It's like 6 months, isn't it? Because it's 20. If we're looking at
When is
5.5 months maybe. If we're lucky, if we sort of imagine they're the finale on the weekend of the anniversary, or they might do like a 3-day event thing. I hope they don't. I like Doctor Who on weekends.
Yeah, space it out over the weekends,
So
and then
watch it, and then
hopefully after the 60th, it's what's the date of the 60th again?
Who is this boy? Who
No,
is this boy? You know nothing about
I've
this
forgotten.
programme. The 23rd of November.
23rd.
Which I think is like a Thursday or something stupid.
Yeah, so if they do it on the weekend after.
Yeah, that could either be the first one or the last one. I imagine it'll probably be the last one.
Yeah, because then that will tie in nicely with what's going on at Christmas.
Yeah,
then.
and then we get like a month till the festive special.
And then.
Which we don't know. We imagine it probably will be a Christmas Day. Might not be. Depends.
Russell T Davies has said he wants to go back to Christmas Day, so I would suggest that would suggest to me that it is Christmas Day.
Yeah, I don't. It just all depends what the BBC decides for. You know, if it pulls in enough figures for the 60th, they might go, yeah, we'll chuck this on Christmas Day, or we'll shift it to somewhere in the middle. I don't think it'll be New Year's again.
I hope not.
New Year's is annoying because I'm usually sat there with a hangover.
I'm normally still drunk.
This is very true.
And then I have to watch. I mean, not that I complain about watching Doctor Who over and over, but then I do have to go and watch it sober, so I make sure I haven't missed anything.
See, I've never been drunk. Well, actually, that's a lie.
No, that's a lie.
I was talking about like first time round, but then that's also a lie. So I watched the first episode of Series 10 at a house party. I was at this is how cool I was, right?
Oh, God.
I was at a house party, and Doctor Who was on. So I literally just left everyone, and watched it on my own in my mate's front room on his telly. I just came back to the party 45 minutes later. It was like, all right, guys. Absolute steaming, like.
That is commitment.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done the same for wrestling.
Didn't remember the rest. I woke up in the morning. I was like, I watched it. I don't know what happened. So I had to watch it again the following day.
Oh,
So I didn't know what was going on.
At least it was a good series.
I mean, I think I'd rather have been drunk watching a terrible episode than a decent episode, but that's just me.
Orphan 55.
I watched that drunk. That's quite funny to watch drunk. I think it's the only way you can watch it, to be honest.
Yeah. We should do a video.
Right, if we get 10 likes, because we only got a small audience, we could set realistic goals.
If we get 10 likes...
10 likes on this video, we'll genuinely do an Orphan 55 drunk watch-along reaction thing.
Yeah. That'll be great fun.
Quite funny as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good note to end on. So do your thing, your YouTube thing that you know to do, but I always forget.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming by. We hope you've had a really nice day. Please don't forget to like.
Nice Sorry, I'm insulting you on the audience now. I'm gonna shut up.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Please drop any comments you have in the comments section below.
The comment. I'm just rinsing him today. I don't know what's wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's just a horrible person.
I'm innocent for a change. Shut up.
I mean, I was just a bit sus. Like, I'm not going to lie. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And join us again next Friday for... Is it live stream week next week, or is it video? I can't remember. Or it might be on a Thursday, because I think I'm going home next Friday. So we can probably... Live stream next Thursday. Share this around. Tell your friends. Tell your dogs.
Let us know your opinions on the trailer we just had in the comment section below.
Yeah. Smash this like button and we'll get drunk on camera.
Yes. Have a nice evening.